Everybody want me to ask this, kid. Are you gonna stop Tank Davis? They want to see you and Tank Davis, nigga. I gotta be honest.
Word?
Davis versus Davis, niggas want to see that, bro.
Man, that's up to Tank. Dude, Tank want to see it for himself.
Keyshawn has been determined in his pursuit of a fight with Tank, showing his strong will to prove he's one of the best in boxing. He's not afraid to shake things up and make it happen, always showing the drive to reach his goal.
Davis Keyshawn, this new guy, he's 140 pounds. He's not bad.
Yeah.
Keyshawn Davis. That's him right there, isn't it?
Ooh, no, I thought he was.
Ooh, there we go right here.
The 25-year-old lightweight has made it his goal to get under Gervonta Tank Davis's skin. And it's clear he won't stop until they face each other in the ring, even if it means getting into a fight with Tank at an airport.
I would prefer Tank Davis, the top guy. I would go for the top guy. If I could choose, I would choose Tank Davis. I would not Tank short out.
Even though Keyshawn is focused on fighting WBO champion Dennis Pinnock on February 14th, his attention on Tank is impossible to ignore. In every interview, post, and opportunity, he brings up Tank's name. After his impressive second-round win over Gustavo Lamos, Keyshawn made it clear that Tank is his real target. "I respect Baroni as a champion, but Tank is who I want," he said at a press conference. Keyshawn knows Tank is aware of his challenge. Recently, when Keyshawn crossed paths with Tank outside the ring, he called him out at the airport. Tank, as usual, didn't take Keyshawn seriously and thought he wasn't worth his time. But Keyshawn wasn't going to let Tank ignore him, saying, "You just run from me like you run from fights." The situation almost got heated when Keyshawn approached Tank, but security stepped in to calm things down.
Around the world, I done seen it all. I done seen him. You know what I mean? I done been in the ring with him a couple of times. So, I mean, again, I know what I can do. I know what God blessed me with. And, you know, it always turns out in great fights when people always got you as the underdog.
Keyshawn's rise in boxing has been amazing, with an unbeaten record of 12 wins, 8 of them by knockout, showing his great talent. He has beaten experienced fighters like Jose Pedraza and Francesco Patera, proving his skill and determination to succeed at the highest level. But despite all his achievements, it's Tank Davis who is always on his mind, and he's not afraid to make that known. On the other hand, Tank has mostly stayed quiet about Keyshawn's constant challenges. He claims he has bigger things to focus on and doesn't want to engage with what he calls loud noise. However, this hasn't stopped Keyshawn. For him, this fight is personal, and he's been calling out Tank for months, questioning his toughness, his desire to fight the best, and even his character.
Hey, for that other southpaw on the other side of the street, this is an example for you. But I probably can do you a little earlier than that. You and Earl keep saying this, that, and third. I want to fight, but y'all calling out other fighters. Why is that? I want to fight you. I want to fight you. You feel me? If you want to fight, let me know, because I want to fight.
After his win over Lemos, Keyshawn claimed that Tank has been hiding behind his team and his record. "I'm right here. I'm not going anywhere. He knows I'll bring the fight to him, and that scares him," he said. This is a bold statement, especially considering Tank's impressive record of 30 wins and 28 knockouts. Tank has built a reputation as one of the most dangerous fighters in boxing, with his powerful punches and quick counterattacks, earning world titles in multiple divisions. However, Keyshawn isn't scared. He sees himself as the future of boxing and believes Tank is the obstacle standing in his way. Their rivalry has caught the attention of fans and experts, with many thinking that Keyshawn's persistence is putting pressure on Tank to react. While Tank has largely ignored him, the airport incident has only added more heat to their conflict. Keyshawn is doing everything he can to make sure this fight becomes inevitable.
Becomes unavoidable.
I didn't watch it, but I saw it was an early knockout. You know, he come out sharp and put the man to sleep. You know, so you know he is next up. He's going to be a great fighter.
He's calling for Tank. Now
he beats Tank.
Yeah, you think so?
Keyshawn Davis beats Tank, in my opinion. I believe to give him a good
Keyshawn's upcoming title fight against Baroni in February is a big step for him. A win would give him his first world title and strengthen his case for a big fight with Tank. Even with the Baroni fight ahead, Keyshawn isn't letting up. In every interview, he brings up Tank, saying it's not a matter of if they'll fight, but when. Keyshawn's confidence comes from his belief in his own abilities. "I've got the skills, the speed, and the mindset to beat him," he said. "Tank's been in some tough fights, but he's never faced someone like me. He can't run forever." Tank, on the other hand, has stayed mostly quiet, letting his actions speak for themselves. But Keyshawn's constant pursuit is making it harder for him to stay silent.
Or, I feel like Tank is the type of fighter where he'll either be offensive first, or he's very, 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 very patient, and then just try to catch you slipping. You know what I'm saying? And certain fighters, it's just smart, So I just think,
Fans are starting to wonder why Tank hasn't responded to Keyshawn, asking if he's avoiding the fight. These are the questions Keyshawn wants people to keep asking as he's playing the long game. The more attention he brings to this rivalry, the harder it will be for Tank to ignore him. Keyshawn has already shown he can back up his words with action, and now he's focused on forcing Tank into a situation where he has no choice but to fight. The lightweight division is full of talent, but Keyshawn believes he's the one who can bring something new. His mix of skill, power, and charisma makes him a star in the making, and he's using everything he can to make sure the world knows it.
Contract, but if you don't, I'm gonna be just as popular fighting you or not fighting you. I'm gonna make my money fighting you or not fighting you. So don't get it twisted like I'm chasing after you. I'm not chasing you. Little dude, little dwarf, Oopa Loopa, little light-skinned dude. I'm not chasing you.
While Tank keeps quiet about his next move, Keyshawn is staying vocal, making sure their rivalry stays in the spotlight. It's a smart strategy, one that has worked for other fighters before. By keeping the pressure on, Keyshawn is not only building excitement for a potential fight, but also showing he'll do whatever it takes to make it happen. Boxing thrives on rivalries, and Keyshawn versus Tank has all the ingredients of a classic. The young, hungry challenger against the established champion. The bold talker versus the silent powerhouse. It's a clash of styles, personalities, and eras that fans can't wait to see. For now, Keyshawn has a big challenge ahead in Baroni. But even as he prepares for his first world title shot, one name stays at the front of his mind: Tank Davis.
I want to fight him, bro, because he been tricking the boxing game for too long. He been tricking the boxing game for too long. He makes shit look good. He makes the shit look better than what it is. Resume what? What kind of resume he got? He no fucking resume, man. He don't got no resume, man.
Keyshawn's message is clear. He's not going anywhere and won't stop until Tank steps into the ring with him. If the recent airport encounter is any sign, this rivalry is far from over. Keyshawn is on a mission, and it's just a matter of time before Tank has to respond. Fans are getting more excited, and for Keyshawn, the chase continues. Eddie Hearn has spoken about the path Keyshawn needs to take if he wants a shot at WBA lightweight champion Tank Davis. Hearn believes Keyshawn must first face and beat Cuba's Andy Cruz, who defeated him several times in the amateurs, including in the 2020 Olympics. Only then will Keyshawn earn the right to challenge Tank. Hearn argues that Keyshawn has been taking shortcuts by fighting opponents who are coming off losses or bad performances instead of challenging the real threats in the division. While Keyshawn's recent win over Gustavo Lemos was impressive, Hearn doesn't think it proves he's ready for Tank. Lemos, who lost to Richardson Hitchens earlier in the year, was the perfect opponent for Keyshawn to look good against. But Hearn believes this kind of matchmaking doesn't fool anyone. Keyshawn's record of 12-0 with 8 knockouts is strong, but it doesn't include the quality wins needed to be in the same conversation as someone like Tank. Hearn admires Keyshawn's potential, but says that if Keyshawn wants a fight with Tank, he must prove himself by taking on tougher challenges, like Cruz. Without that, Hearn believes Keyshawn hasn't shown he can handle the best yet.
Hey, you been knowing me though. I'm just getting to know you, sir.
I don't know shit about you.
They been knowing me. I'm just getting to know you, sir. You know I've been staying no business.
I ain't know who you was.
I've been staying no business. This is what I've been doing.
On this business.
Boy, since the Olympics, since before the Olympics, I bet you been knowing what I've been doing, right?
I ain't even know
stop
you was.
playing with me. Bro, been knowing what I've been doing.
Hearn also mentioned that Keyshawn's win over Lemos, while exciting, didn't show he's ready for Tank. Lemos had come off a loss and wasn't the same fighter who faced Richardson Hitchens earlier in the year. While Keyshawn did what he needed to do, knocking out Lemos in the 3rd round, Hearn sees it as a missed chance for Keyshawn to truly show his skills against a fighter at his best. Hearn believes that if Keyshawn wants to prove he's ready for the top of the division, he should avoid fights like this and face tougher opponents.
fight. So I don't think it was the same Lemos that fought Richardson Hitchens, but I think that's irrelevant. He demolished him. And that's what you got to do sometimes. You got to go in there. The crowd looked great in Norfolk, Virginia. It's great for boxing. Keyshawn's a great young fighter. And in time, I think he'll be a great fight for Gervonta Davis. But he's still...
Hearn is now focused on Andy Cruz, the Cuban fighter who has handed Kesson 4 losses in the amateurs. Hearn believes this mark on Kesson's record can't be ignored. Cruz has dominated Kesson in their past matches, including a clear win in the Olympic finals. He never beat Andy Cruz, Hearn reminded the media, stressing that Kesson still has unfinished business in the amateur ranks before moving up to fight top pros like Tank Davis. Hearn is confident that Kesson can't skip past Cruz if he wants to make a serious push for a world title.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I'm in here watching football now, Eddie.
Listen, you know I got love for you, but oh my God, make sure you never fight Andy Cruz.
Eddie, come on now, Eddie.
I'm a big Keyshawn Davis fan. I'm a big Keyshawn Davis fan.
Hey, and I always got love.
For Hearn, it's simple. Kesson needs to prove he can beat the man who has already beaten him multiple times before moving on to a title shot against someone like Tank. It's not about avoiding tough fights, but stepping up and showing he belongs at the top. Hearn points out that there's no need for trainers or other fighters to confirm Cruz's superiority over Kesson. It's clear in the record books. Kesson's losses to Cruz are well documented, and anyone can see them. If Kesson wants a fight before Tank Davis, Hearn says, sign us up for Andy Cruz. He's already beaten Kesson 4 times and is ready to do it again. The message is clear. Kesson must face Cruz and beat him if he wants to be taken seriously as a challenger for Tank. Without that, any claim to a title shot doesn't hold weight, as far as Hearn is concerned. On his way homeward with Kesson...
See, the thing is with Tank, who I think is a brilliant fighter, right? So exciting, very heavy-handed. He loses a lot of rounds, right? He lost rounds against Frank Martin. He lost rounds against Ryan Garcia. He lost rounds against Pitbull Cruz. And these are all guys that aren't on the same level as Lomachenko and Shakur Stevenson.
While some may think Kesson's knockout win over Lemos proves he's ready, Hearn is not convinced. He believes Kesson's path is built on the wrong kind of fights. Lemos, who had already been beaten by other contenders, wasn't the kind of opponent who could truly show Kesson's level. For Hearn, Kesson needs to face a real challenge like Andy Cruz to prove he's ready for the best, like Tank Davis. Every fighter in the lightweight division wants a shot at Tank's title, but Hearn says getting that shot shouldn't be about picking easy opponents. It's about facing the best, and right now, Kesson needs to deal with Cruz first. Hearn believes Tank and his team won't be fooled by Kesson's current approach. They want to see quality wins over real competition. Kesson's win over Lemos, while impressive, doesn't meet that standard. Hearn thinks Kesson has the tools to succeed, but he's taking the wrong approach if he wants to fight Tank. The path to a title shot means proving you can beat the best, and right now, Kesson's record lacks that key victory. He needs to beat Cruz before anything else, to be ready for a fight with Tank. Without that, Hearn doesn't believe Kesson has earned his place at the top of the lightweight division. Kesson seems to be picking his fights carefully, staying away from Cruz, who beat him in the 2020 Olympics. Cruz has proven to be a tough challenge for Kesson, and it's clear Kesson has been using his recent wins to build his name. However, many of his opponents have been chosen because they've recently lost, like Lemos, who had lost to Richardson Hitchens earlier in the year. This raises the question, why pick a fighter coming off a loss instead of facing tougher opponents like Andy Cruz? If Kesson is as good as he believes, why avoid Cruz, especially when Cruz is ready to challenge him again?
I love Keyshawn. I think he's a great fighter. I think he's getting better and better and better. You can't take, when a fighter comes in 7 pound over or 6 or 5 pound over or whatever it was, it's not because they're struggling at the weight. It's because you know that camp, everything's broken down in that fight. So I don't think it was the same Lemos that fought Richardson Hitchens, but I think that's irrelevant. He demolished.
Some believe Kesson is trying to avoid another loss that could hurt his momentum, while others argue that to reach the top in the lightweight division, he must face tough challenges like Cruz and others who've proven themselves. Kesson's recent knockout of Lemos, while impressive, doesn't convince everyone that he's ready for bigger challenges. Lemos was seen as out of his depth, and some feel Kesson won't get the same easy wins as he moves up the ranks. The real test comes when he faces someone who can push him, and that's where Cruz comes in. Cruz has beaten Keyshawn 4 times in the amateurs, and if Keyshawn wants to face bigger names like Tank Davis, he has to prove he can beat someone who knows how to expose his weaknesses.
Keyshawn Davis say him and Tank is like Sugar Ray, Roberto Duran, and Muhammad Ali, Sonny Liston, bro. Listen, I ain't mad. I would love to see that fight if Keyshawn go get that WBO belt. If Keyshawn can get that belt off of Barinchik, I would love to see Tank Davis versus Keyshawn Davis.
Some believe the real path to becoming a household name in boxing isn't just about beating fighters like Lemos, but proving you can compete with the top fighters in your weight class. To reach that level, Keyshawn will need to face fighters like Tank Davis, Shakur Stevenson, and others who have established themselves at the top. That's the kind of challenge that could truly make Keyshawn a star, but right now, it seems he's avoiding the toughest fights. Some experts think that without facing Cruz and proving he can handle that level of competition, Keyshawn won't have the right resume to challenge Tank. There's also talk that Keyshawn might do better moving up to the 147-pound division to avoid the struggles of making weight. Some compare him to Jaron Boots Ennis, a young, talented fighter who also avoided cutting down to 135 pounds. Keyshawn is big for 135 pounds, and many believe he'd have more success at 147, where he'd be more naturally suited. It's easy to see why some think Keyshawn is really a welterweight trying to fit into a smaller division, especially after seeing how he struggled to make weight in previous fights.
Bro, think about it, bro. Come on, bro, let's go down the line, bro. Y'all been talking about, Key fight Mark Castro. Key fight Rayo. Key fight Frank Martin. Key fight Floyd Schofield. Key fight Devin Haney. Key, you a bitch if you don't fight Shakur Stevenson. Key, your father Andy Cruz back. Like, damn.
There's a risk in moving up to the welterweight division, especially when it means facing a skilled fighter like Jaron Ennis. If Keyshawn were to fight Ennis, it could be a tough challenge, and he might struggle, as Ennis is highly experienced and could expose Keyshawn's weaknesses. However, if Keyshawn managed to pull off an upset against Ennis, it would make him a star overnight. Still, it's a risky move, and Keyshawn may not be ready to take that chance. Right now, he seems to be playing it safe by choosing less challenging opponents, but some believe this could backfire in the long run, keeping him out of big boxing matches. To become a household name, Keyshawn will need to defeat fighters like Tank Davis, Shakur Stevenson, and Andy Cruz. If he doesn't face these kinds of challenges, Keyshawn may remain known mainly to hardcore boxing fans, but won't reach the level of recognition needed to be a true star. And Aaron Canny, what do you think? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates.